Hello all, welcome to part 22 of TestNG training series. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate how to implement test dependency in TestNG using depends on methods attribute. So let's get started. So how to implement the test dependency in TestNG using depends on method attribute that I am going to cover in this session, guys. So in order to implement the test dependency, okay, in order to implement this test dependency, we need depends on methods attribute. Okay, I'll take a real-time example, guys. I'll take a real-time example and I'll use Selenium automation as part of this. Okay, demonstrating the real-time example, I'll be using the Selenium automation. Okay, where I'll show you why the test need to depend on another test. Okay, why a test has to depend on or need to depend on another test, and that is a process where we have a requirement of implementing the test dependency, and for implementing the test dependency we need depends on methods attribute. Okay, anyhow I'll practically demonstrate, guys. Let's talk theoretical thing less here in this particular session, especially let's talk the theoretical thing less. Let me directly take you to the practical demonstration where you will understand why some of the test methods, okay, in TestNG need to be dependent on other test methods, and which is possible with help of depends on methods attribute. Okay, implementation of test dependency is possible with help of test depends on methods attribute. So I'll start with the practical demonstration. For that, I'll directly take you to the Eclipse IDE where we have a sample project. Here under src test java, under the test package, I'll create a new class. Okay, what is the class name I have to give? For this to understand, for this class name and everything, for you to understand, I'm going to show you what I'm trying to automate first. Okay, I will take you to this application, guys. Okay, we'll open the Chrome browser, maximize the browser, and open this application URL. After opening this application URL, first test is number one test is I want to log into the application. Okay, I'll verify whether you're able to log into the application. How to verify whether we got with valid credentials I'm able to log into the application or not? I'll check one of the link which is not possible or visible without the user gets logged in. Okay, if the user gets logged in only, you will get this edit your account information or change it. I'll verify one of this option, and the first test will be done. First TestNG test annotation method test will be done, guys. Okay, then what next I want to do is I want to type HP. First test is completed. I want to type HP here and press enter key, and in the search results I'll get this product, and immediately I'll click on add to wish list, and then I'll click on this wish list link. And the second test, I'll verify whether we are taken to this my wish list page or not. Okay, whether we are taken to this my wish list page or not. Second test I'll verify. Third test is I'll click on this remove button and verify whether the product got really removed by verifying this particular test. Okay, this particular text, that is your wish list is empty. This is the third test. These are the three tests I want to do, guys. Okay, these are the three tests I want to automate. So initially we'll start with the home page, right? So for that, let me write the automation code. So I'll just name this class as wishlist class. You understood, right? What are the three tests I'm going to automate? Now I'll create the wishlist class. Using Selenium, I'll automate this. Okay, I'll give a real-time example. Public void user login. Okay, user login, or verify user login or user login. Anything is fine, guys. I'll just give user login for now. At the rate test, I will say. For the mouse on at the rate test, this project is already configured with TestNG, so I'll import this TestNG test at the rate test annotation from TestNG. Here I'll write the automation code WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver, because I want to open the Chrome browser, so I'll set up the Chrome driver here. Then I'll say WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, this will open the Chrome browser. This statement or this constructor in this statement will open the Chrome browser. I'll import this WebDriver from Selenium library. Selenium library is already configured in this project. So, okay. So in the previous sessions, I already showed you how to configure Selenium in these projects and all. Okay, this session is a continuation of the previous sessions. So you have to learn in order, guys. Otherwise, you'll not understand. Driver.manage.window.maximize. Driver.window.maximize. This will maximize the browser window. Then I'll open the application URL using the get command. What is the application URL? This is the application URL. Okay, I'll copy paste this application URL here. After copy pasting this application URL, guys, after copy pasting this application URL, what I want to do is I want to log into the application. For that, I have to click on my account. I'll inspect this my account option. Here, I'll get this my account. Copy this. I'll create an XPath for this. A span tag is there and text my account is there. Okay, I'll copy this text. I already copied this text, guys. and I'll say control F /span text is equal to text function in XPath. Okay, I'll create an XPath expression called my account. Okay, this will locate the my account option. Using this locator, I'll take this locator from here and say driver dot find element by dot XPath locator of that my account option dot click. I'll say okay, this will click on the my account. This will click on the my account and you'll get these options. Now I have to click on the login option. I'll inspect this login and this looks like a hyperlink and this is the text. I'll copy this text. I'll copy this text between the anchor tags and I can create the link text locator. Driver dot find element by dot link text. I'll provide the link text of that hyperlink text between the tags of the hyperlink and say dot click. Okay, I'll say dot click. So after this, login option will be clicked and you'll be taken to this login page where I have to enter the email address and password. I'll inspect this email address, guys. It has an ID. I'll take this ID as a locator. I'll say driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID and say dot, okay, dot send keys. I have to type the email address. Okay, I'll type the valid email address, guys. Okay, for now I'll type the valid email address. I'll copy this valid email address and paste it here. And similarly, after this statement, I have to type the password. So for that, I'll inspect this password field. Inspect this password field. This password field also has an ID, guys. I'll copy this ID, and here I'll write down driver dot find element by dot ID. Provide the ID of that password field, and say dot send keys. I'll give the valid password here. That is 12345 for this account. Put a semicolon. So I'll just give 12345 here. Now I have to click on the login button, guys. I'll inspect this login button, and this is the HTML code of the login button. By looking at this HTML code, I'll take the value attributes value, copy this value attributes value. I'll create an XPath expression. Input tag is there, /input at the rate value is equal to login. I'll type /input at the rate value is equal to login. I'll type and press enter. You see, it will locate the login button. Locate the login button. I'll copy this and simply I'll write the code here. Say driver.find element by dot XPath. Provide the XPath of that login button, guys. XPath. Provide the XPath of the login button and say dot click. Okay, say dot click. Click on the login button. Then I have to verify whether I got really logged in or not. How to verify? I have to verify one of this option is displayed or not. Okay, I'll check whether this option is displayed. If this option is displayed on the page means I got logged in. Okay, so I'll inspect this option. This is the link text. You see anchor tags are the link text. So I'll simply write down the assert statement in TestNG. Assert dot assert true. Assert dot assert true. Okay, here I'll say driver dot find element by dot link text. This particular element is displayed or not, I'll check. Okay, dot is displayed. Okay, if it is displayed, the test will pass. If it is not displayed, the test will fail, whatever it is. Okay, now this is one of the tests, guys. This is one of the tests. I'll not close the browser here because I have one more test to write here. I have one more test to write here. After logging into the application, I have to search for HP and click on the add to wish list and then go to the wish list page and verify whether I have landed on the wish list page or not, my wish list page or not. Okay, so add product to wish list and view. Okay, something like this. Okay, add product to wish list and view wish list. Okay, view wish list or whatever it is. Okay, view wish list. Like this, I want to do. I will write @test here, and I need to continue this. You see, after this particular test, I want to continue this test, guys. These tests are not independent tests, guys. These tests are continuation tests where I have to write the driver dot. I have to enter, inspect this. I have to enter the name locator driver dot find element. But here already driver is giving me the error. The reason behind that is it's declared locally. I'll make it global first. Okay, I'll make it global and remove the double declaration from here so that I can access the driver here now. Driver dot. Now you see find element by dot name locator. I'll provide the name locator of the search box field. That is this name locator value by dot name search dot send keys. I want to type HP, guys. HP text into the text field, comma. I'll say keys dot enter. I want to press the enter key. Okay. When I type HP text and press enter key here, what will happen in the search results? I'll get this product. Okay. Now on this product, there is a add to wish list option. I need to click on this add to wish list. Inspect this. Inspect this, and here FA heart is coming. On the top, you see button type is equal to data toggle tooltip on click wishlist dot add data original title add to wishlist. Okay, so this is nothing but button add to wishlist. Okay, so copy this, guys. Copy this text, or copy this. Otherwise, copy this part. Okay, data original title is equal to add to wishlist, right? So I'll create an XPath here. /button at the rate that attribute name hyphen. Otherwise, I'll say press enter. Now there may be multiple things here. There may be multiple things. This one is add to wish list. I'll copy this add to wish list, guys. Here is it okay? What is this actually? Is equal to add to wish list. Okay, like this I'll give. If I press enter, it is locating only one element, that is add to wish list option. Using this XPath, I am locating this add to wish list. I want to click on this add to wish list now. So here I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath of that add to wish list, and say dot click. After clicking on that, what will happen after clicking on this? You'll get a notification, but this notification is not immediately coming, guys. This okay, this is not immediately coming. This is taking some time to come. So I'll wait for this wish list option and then click. I'll inspect this. It's nothing but the hyperlink, guys. Hyperlink. So, but I will wait for the hyperlink to be displayed. Okay, I will wait for this link text to be displayed. This wish list link text. How to wait for that? WebDriver wait. Wait is equal to new WebDriver. I will explicitly wait. Here I have to say driver comma duration dot of seconds. I'll give 10 seconds max. That is more than enough for that notification to come. I'll import this WebDriver wait from Selenium, and here, this is a waiting mechanism in Selenium, guys. If the options are not immediately available, you'll get no such element exception. So to avoid that, I am doing this. Wait out until till where Selenium have to wait till that option is displayed. That is wishlist option is displayed. Here I'll write expected conditions. If you already know Selenium, this will be easy to understand. I'll say dot expected conditions dot visibility of element located by. Here I have to say by dot link text. What is the link text that I have to wait for to be displayed on the page, to be visible on the page? Link text is nothing but this wish list, guys. I'll copy this wish list and paste it here. That's it. Okay. So, and also this until will return you the web element, guys. So I'll say web element wish list element. I can say like this. Okay, it will return you the wish list element, and I'll import this web element from Selenium, and I'll copy this wish list element, and so I'll simply say wishlist element dot click. Okay. After we are waiting for this wishlist to be displayed, wishlist link to be displayed, then we are clicking on the wishlist. That's what we are doing. Then we have to verify whether we are landed on this my wishlist page or not. How to do that? Simple, guys. I'll say assert true, assert true, or assert equals also we can use. I'll get the title of this page. Driver dot get title. Driver dot get title dot equals. It should be equal to what? Should be equal to my wish list. So I'll type this manually, my wish list. This confirms that we are landed on the wish list page. Add product to the wish list and view wish list page. Okay. So the second test is also done, guys. Now I'll go with the third test. That is, I want to remove this and verify whether this product from the wish list got removed or not. That is the third test. Public void remove product from wish list. This is the third test. Okay, I'm creating the real-time test, guys. There are three tests which have to run in a sequential order. First, this test should run where we'll log in. After login, we'll search for the product and add to the wish list. Okay, if you don't log in and try to do this, okay, I'll remove this for now. I'll show you what will happen. If I don't log in, for example, if I don't log in, I have not logged in, let's say. Okay, I have not logged in, but if I search for HP here without logging in, now at this moment the account is not logged in. Without logging in, if I try to add to the wish list and click on this link, am I taken to the wish list page? No. First we have to log in. That's why I have written this test first, user login. If you log in only, Okay, if you log in only, you'll be taken to the wish list page, guys. Otherwise, you'll not be taken. You see, you are not taken to the wish list until you log in. Okay, that's why we logged in first. Then we are taken. Then I'll remove it. Okay, this is what is the process. First, we have to log in, guys. Okay, so this test should run in a sequential order. First, this test should run where we have to log in. Then second test where we have to add the product to the wish list and go to the verify whether we are on the landed on the wish list page or not. Then I have to remove the product from the wish list and verify the product got removed or not. First, I'll log in. That is the first test. And as part of the second test, after verifying whether we got logged in, as part of the second test, I'll type HP and click on the add to wish list and wait for this wish list link to be displayed. Then click on this link. Then I'll verify whether we have landed by using this title. Okay. Now, as part of third test, I have to remove the product from the wish list, guys. For that, I'll inspect this remove button. And where is the remove? Yeah, data original title. It's anchor tag and it has remove text here. It has remove text, as you can see, it has remove text. So I'll say Control F /A. Okay, I'll provide the attribute. I'll provide the attribute is equal to remove. Okay, remove. If I create this X path, you see it's highlighting only one element, that is remove button. I'll copy this X path of the remove button and come back here and say driver.find element by dot X path of the remove button and say dot click. When I click on the remove button, what will happen? When I click on the remove button, what will happen? The product will be removed from the wish list, and here you should get a message known as to confirm whether the product has been removed. We have to verify whether this particular text is displayed on the wish list page. That is, your wish list is empty, should be displayed. Inspect this, your list is empty, and here I'll start with this ID and I'll go with the paragraph tag. So here I'll write assert statement. You just see here how I'm writing this. Assert dot third test, guys. Assert true. Okay, then I have to verify this element. So for that, I'll create an XPath, guys. This one has an ID. Under this, there is a paragraph. So I'll say Control F, the div tag is there, /div @ID is equal to provide the ID, guys. So then you'll be there here. Under that paragraph is there /p. If I say get text, the text between the tags will come. Copy this XPath and simply write down driver dot find element by dot XPath. Provide the XPath of that text and say dot get text. Dot get text. Sorry, dot get text. I have to say dot get text and say dot equals. It should be equal to the retrieve text should be equal to what? Your wish list is empty. Okay, this particular text should be displayed. I'll try to copy from here. If not, I'll copy from there. Otherwise, I'll just copy from here. Yeah, your wish list is empty should be displayed. If it is there, if the retrieve text is equal to your wish list is empty, that means the product has been successfully removed. Here I'll convert this into the normal method into the test method. Now 3 tests are there, and each and every test is dependent on another test. Okay, so if this is a situation, guys, if this is the situation where I have written 3 tests, first test, second test, and third test, these are 3 tests I have written. First, user login should happen, then add product to wish list and view wish list page should happen, then remove product from wish list should happen. If I run all this test will not run in a particular order what we are thinking. You just see here what will happen. Okay, this test will not run in a sequential order. That's the problem. Okay, one of the tests is running, that's okay, but what about the remaining test? It's not running. The reason behind that is, you see, the first 2 tests, first test add product to wish list and view wish list is running. I thought user login will run in first, and there this one, then this one. But what happened? TestNG try to run the test based on the alphabetical order. As you already know from the previous sessions, the test will be running in the alphabetical order. Here, you will not come first. A will come first. Alphabetical order or ASCII, internally ASCII order. Okay. So here, alphabetically, this lowercase a will come first. So this test is being running first, but this test is actually dependent on login test. This test is actually dependent on login test. Without user login, this will not be verified. So this test is running, then this test is running, then this test is running. Only one test is passing and remaining 2 tests are failing here. You see, 2 tests are failing here. The reason behind that is the order is not correct. So as you already know, to correct the order, we can do one thing. That is, here, beside the @test annotation, provide priority is equal to 1 for this user login. Okay. Here also, for this second test, give priority is equal to, this is one of the way to order the test, right? This is one of the way to order the test, test execution, order the test execution. Here I'll give priority is equal to 3. Okay, then it will be fine, I guess, right? First login test will run. Since login is completed, then search will happen without any problem. Since search is happening, remove will happen without any problem. This time all the 3 tests should pass without any problem. All the 3 tests should pass. Just see here what is happening. Using priority attribute, we are solving this problem where first login test should run. After that, search test should happen. Then add to wish list and view. You see, removing of the product from wish list is also happened. Now all the 3 tests got passed, guys. All the 3 tests got passed without any problem. First user login, then add product to wish list and view wish list, and remove product from wish list. But there is a problem, guys. What if this particular test fails due to some XYZ reasons? What will happen? The order is good, but if this first priority one test fails, for example, here I'll give ABC here, guys. Okay, invalid email address I'll give intentionally. So this particular test will fail, guys. This particular test will fail. When the particular test fails, guys, no such element exception will be displayed in the 30th line. So when this particular test fails, what about the other tests? They will also run. They will run and they will fail. Okay. When this particular dependent test fails, remaining 2 tests which are depending on this test also will run. Okay. When this particular test fails, this test should not run. But what's happening here? When this dependent test fails, okay, when this test to be dependent on is failing, the remaining tests should not actually run because there is no use of running without login. But in this case, with the priority attributes, what's happening is even though this test is failing, the tests which are depending on this particular test are running. Okay, irrespective of this particular test failing or passing, these tests are running, guys. That's not a correct approach. Run all, you will see that first test will fail because of no such element exception, and because even though it fails, the remaining tests will try to run. Okay, and they will also fail. You see, login didn't happen and remaining tests are trying to run, but they will fail. There's no way of going to the wish list without logging in, and there is no way of removing the product from the wish list page without logging in. Okay, here logging in is a problem. So as you can see here, all the 3 tests got failed. So when user login fails, I don't want this particular test to be executed. But with priority attribute, the problem here is with priority attribute, the problem here is even though the test is failing, the remaining tests are okay. The remaining tests which are depending on this test are also executing. To avoid this problem, guys, these were the requirement or the attribute that I'm trying to explain as part of this session is meant for test dependency in TestNG. We should not be using priority attribute, guys. Okay, priority attribute is not helping us here because the tests which are depending on the dependent test are still running when the actual or main test is failing. Then other tests should not run. They are dependent on the main test, login test. Okay, the wish list related test should not run if the login test fails. There's a problem. So priority is failing here. Okay, it's unnecessarily running the tests which are depending on the main test when the main test has failed. So we have to use depends on methods attribute. We have to use depends on methods attribute, guys. How to use that depends on methods attribute? I'll show you. Okay. So priority is not working out. So I'll remove the priority from here, guys. I'll remove the priority from here. Priority concept is not working at all. So in place of the priority, for the second test, I'll say depends on methods. It's not method, guys. It's methods. Okay. Methods means you can add multiple methods. This particular test can be dependent on multiple tests. Okay. Here I can put an array like this. Okay. Array of tests. But here I'll put only one test here. Only one element in this array, I'll say, that is user login. I'm simply saying that before running this test, you have to run user login test. Okay. In order for this, but you say TestNG will definitely try to execute this test in alphabetical order. As per the alphabetical order, since priority is not there, it will try to execute this the test name which is starting with A first. But before running this test, it will check whether there is an attribute like depends on method. Since it is there, it will go to user login first and run the user login. Then only it come back to the add product. Similarly, this remove product from wish list not only depends on login, but also depends on add product to wish list. Without adding product to wish list, how you can remove it, right? So here on depends on methods is equal to, I'll provide 2 tests here. Okay, I'll provide 2 tests here, guys. Depends on methods is equal to, I'll write 2 tests here. First one is a user login test. I'll give the user login test. And second one is a second test. That is, I'll give add product to wish list, this particular test. This third test is depending on first two tests. Okay. So what will happen this time is, if this particular test passes, if this particular test passes, no problem. Okay. If the particular test passes, you see first it will try to run this test, but depends on method is there. It will control will go to user login and it will login first. Then it will come to this method and it's not depending on any other test. So it will run this. It will add the product to the wish list and go to the wish list page and verify. And then it will go for this test. And then it is depending on these two tests. Already these two tests are executed. So it will run the third test. Okay. This is how depends on methods attribute will work. So when everything is fine, everything is passing, it will work in the, it will simulate like the priority attribute only. Okay, but the priority attribute, there was a problem where if the one of the main test fails, the dependent tests are also running. Okay, they should not run. Dependent test should not run if the main test, you see, everything is working fine. All the things got passed. User login, add product, and this is order. Without priority attribute, we have achieved this. And what if I intentionally fail by giving ABC here, still what will happen is this particular test will fail and the dependent test, the tests which are dependent on user login will not be executed. They will be skipped, guys. There is no use of running when the main test fails, right? So run this. This is what is the difference between priority and depends on methods, guys. You see, the first test will fail and the other two tests which are depending on the first test will not run. They will not run, guys. You see, here only it is stopped. The remaining two tests got skipped, guys. They will be skipped. You see, skips is equal to 2. User login got failed. And because of this reason, the tests which are dependent on the user login test are not executed at all. This is what is advantage of using depends on methods attribute on when compared with a priority attribute. If you can see here, depends on method has more advantage over priority because the dependent test will not run when the actual or main test which these tests are dependent on fails. But priority will still run the other dependent tests even though the test on which these test methods are dependent are failing. Okay. So that's why we have to use depends on methods wherever that is possible, guys. Okay. And also, guys, what if I use both priority and depends on methods? Is there any effect? There is no effect, guys. Okay. What if I give this one as priority 1? Priority is equal to 1. Does it change the order? Does it run this test first? Because I'm changing to priority 1 without a test that is depending on, is the test will run first? No, guys. Okay. So I'll give the priority as 3 here. Okay. First one, it should run first, but I'm giving priority 3 here, guys. But still nothing will happen. When you use depends on methods, nothing will happen, guys. Okay. Okay. I'll give 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Reverse order I'm giving. Or I'll give here 2 and here 1, guys. Okay, completely reverse order. Whatever that should be executed first, I'm giving 3. Whatever that should be executed last, I'm giving 1. But mm, this will not work, guys, because the more priority will be given to depends on methods. Okay, when priority and depends on methods attributes are used, the priority will be given to depends on methods, not the priority attribute. Even though priorities are mentioned in a wrong way here. Okay, even only when this particular test. Okay, okay, they will run in a sequential order only, depends on according to depends on methods only it will run, not based on the priority, guys. Okay, depends on methods attribute will override the priority attribute, guys. Click on run all. You'll see that when you click on run all, guys, you will see that it is working based on the depends on method only. You see all the 3 tests got run. Okay, it's not running in whatever the priority. I gave the remove product from wish list as first priority, but it got still got executed last. That means depends on methods attribute is given more priority over the priority attributes. This is depending on these two test methods, so it has executed last. Whereas this method is dependent on user login, so it got executed second. And whereas this one is not dependent on anything, so it got executed first. Even though we have provided the priority attributes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. Okay, because depends on methods attribute overrides the priority attribute. Now let's make it simple, guys. What I will do is I'll just remove the priority, guys. There is no need of putting the priority now. That's just for the explanation I have given. Let's make it simple. Okay, I will simply depends on methods attributes. The test will run, that's fine. What if you already have seen, what if the main test fails? The main test which is test are depending on fails means the other two tests will be skipped. That's all we already seen. Okay, again I will be failing and running again. Just for recap, you see if the main test which other tests are depending on fails, the remaining two tests will not run, guys. They will simply get skipped. Okay, I'm showing you again because I have to take other cases also. Okay, so if this particular test fails, the remaining two tests, okay, here login failed. So the remaining two tests will get skipped. They'll not be running. Okay, this you already have seen that. Okay, now what if I'll put @ignore on the top of this? What if I ignore this particular test? What if I ignore this particular test? If this is ignored, then what will happen? The tests which are depending on the this particular test, will they run or will they doesn't run? I'm ignoring the test means it will not be executed. You will get an exception from TestNG, guys. Okay, because you intentionally made this other two tests depending on the test, and now you are saying you are disabling the test from execution. That is not allowed, right? That's why if you do such kind of activities, TestNG will simply give an exception known as some kind of exception saying that this particular test, other tests are dependent. You cannot mention @ignore here. Okay, just see here, you will get a simple TestNG exception. Okay, you see you got a TestNG exception, and you see this particular test is depending on this particular test. You cannot mention, you cannot ignore this particular test it is saying. Okay, okay, so this is what is the reason why you are getting the exception, guys. You cannot use @ignore. So if you use @ignore, you will get an exception there. Or what if this particular test doesn't exist at all, and I am saying that these two tests are depending on the user login, but user login doesn't exist here? Then what will happen? The same exception you will get, guys. Okay, if you are making some test depending on a test which is not exist at all, you will get the same TestNG exception. You'll get the same TestNG exception, guys. You'll see that TestNG exception. It is depending on the non-existing method. Okay, there is no method uh, as stated here. That's why we are getting a TestNG exception. So this is all about depends on method attribute and how to implement the test dependency in TestNG, and how depends on method attribute overrides priority attribute, and what is the difference of using the priority and depends on method. Everything I covered in this session in a detailed manner, guys. Okay, ignoring the main test and using the @ignore annotation and deleting the main test and then running. You'll, in these two cases you will get exception, guys. And in this case, depends on methods, when you are using both attributes, depends on methods attribute will override the priority attribute. Okay, and coming to this one, priority versus depends on methods attribute. Okay, you already have seen that, right? This will run the test, dependent test, even after the main test is failing, but depends on methods will skip the dependent test when the main test is failing. Okay, and also I showed you a practical demonstration of how to use depends on methods with a real-time Selenium automation script example. So that's all for this session, guys. So that's all for this session where I practically demonstrated how to implement test dependency in TestNG using depends on methods attribute. Okay. So that's all for this session. In the next session, I'm going to cover another topic or another concept of TestNG. So see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.